Yeah, so you mentioned, I mean, again, as this is being recorded tonight, today was the first day of the national tournament. It's in Allen, Texas. I think it's been there for a while, and if I remember right, I think it's going to move to Vegas maybe next year, something like that.
Yeah.
But you've been to Allen, Texas. You've been on that state. There is a national tournament. It's not all just, and when I say club, I don't want to kill this point, Kyler. I don't, but I want it to sink into to big, thick-headed people like me. Club doesn't mean that Kyler still he's got this class load, like you said. He wants to be a Buckeye, and he's got a little bit of an itch, so he feels like he needs to go, check, roll around with somebody, maybe do some single legs and hit some high crotches here and there, and then you guys shake hands and that was fun. I'll see you next week. This is competitive. The national list, NCAA list of clubs that are there. I want to say there's probably 50 teams there, at least.
There's at least, I think there's over 100, and it depends on the size of the club. Yeah, man, there's a lot.
And different governing rules. We don't need to get into that, but basically, there was one year I remember watching you. You had the same guy in your weight class, so two guys from the same team on the same weight class can enter into the tournament and be in the national tournament, right?
Yeah. And you said, like with the rules and stuff, like there's only one guy that scores for your team, but the NCAA is, to me, it was the ultimate opportunity for as many guys to compete that were in similar situations as me. That it gives everyone the opportunity to compete, and it's extremely competitive. And I think the beauty of it is, like, on my end, it was extremely competitive. But for some other guys, like you were saying, like you can pop in the room and you can roll around once a week with us. Like it's open to everybody. And the beauty of it is it is what you make it. Like I made it extremely competitive, and it's an extremely competitive organization. But we have guys that all sorts of different experience levels and like competition levels as well. Like we have guys that just come in and practice to help out the guys that are competing. We have people that stop in twice a semester to feel just being on a mat again. And then we have guys who are state placers in other states that have come to Ohio State from out of state, and they want to compete with us. And I mean, ultimately, like we do really well as a team. Yeah, man, it's really what you make it. And it's that was the beauty of being a part of the NCAA and being part of club wrestling.
So you mentioned the budget. The budget got a little bit bigger as in my mind as you kind of went up another tier. I've seen the gear; it's official. I've seen the swag; it's official. The social media is out there. Like I said, this is not just some, hey, let's get together and roll around. And again, you just said you can if you want to. I love the opportunity for that, but this is a legit organization that is connected to the varsity program. And so you can really, really scratch that itch if you want to, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. And like I said, we were talking about guys that have gone from the club to the varsity. I was actually one of those guys that wanted that opportunity, and Coach Ryan gave it to me. So I guess to start my freshman year, when I got to Ohio State, I saw those guys wrestling in the room, and I, got to talking to them, and I started competing all of a sudden. I think I was practicing probably twice a week my freshman year, and I was competing on the weekends. And then I became an All-American that year. And all of a sudden, my coach is like, you could win that national tournament if you really wanted to. And I really wanted to. And so sophomore year, I went, and at the beginning of the year, my goal was to walk on to the varsity that year. And I trained for it all summer, extremely hard. And I was probably in the best shape of my life. And I went to the varsity, and I was there for probably about a month and a half or so, and I got cut from the team. And that's when like Colin Moore was there. That's when Miles Martin was there. It's when Kyle was there. All they were studs.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got cut from the team, and Tom Ryan told me to go win that national tournament for the NCAA and come back. And that year I ended up finishing second. And honestly, at that point, my best opportunity wasn't to try to go back to the varsity. It was to try to get that title for the NCAA again next year. So, yeah, man, that's how that played out.